I started my own firm because where I'm from, there are as many lawyers as there are hot dog stands. There's one everywhere. And you still get tons of complaints about them, or at least you hear. And so when I was in law school, I always had the intention of going out on my own. I never had the intention of working for a large law firm. I always wanted to sort of make a difference, as cliche as that sounds. But at the end of the day, I realized that you have to listen to the customer. And when you hear so many people complaining about lawyers never calling someone back, never returning any kind of communication, never being available, people never knowing about their case, you take that in and you sort of realize that you have to do things differently if you start this up. And so my sort of idea was, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be customer service based. Now, what does that mean? That means that my service to the client is just as important, if not sometimes more important, than the actual legal work I'm doing. It might sound crazy to some people, and that's totally fine. They can have their own opinions. But to me, the client has to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable the second that you walk into my office. It's vital to me because that opens up communication between me and you, and that better helps me serve you. In real life, this works. And so that's vital to me. And that's why I sort of started it. I thought that the second that a client comes in, I can make them feel at home. I can make the conversation much more informal. You want to ask me questions, but you don't want to be intimidated by me. And some people feel that way with an attorney. They sit behind a huge desk and the attorney sort of lectures them. That's never the way it is with us. And that's never the way I wanted it to be. It's more of a conversation between myself and you where I answer your questions from beginning to end. And so in law school, I had these thoughts and I said, look, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be based on these values. We're going to change the way that law is practiced. And I think we've been pretty successful so far, and it's the model that we continue to follow. And each time we actually hire someone, we make sure that that person is acutely aware of that as well. It's vital to me that everyone that works for me feels the same way I do and approaches the practice of law the same way I do. So that's why we started our own firm.